Welcome to Making Video Games with Python Lesson 20. In this video, we're going to explore how we can detect collisions with the animations that are inside of our list. So let's get to it. So since the last video, we've also added the health pods that are now scrolling through our screen. Again, using the same technique we did for the asteroids and the plasma balls. So let's just run it. So the idea behind level 1 is that we have to fly through the air to kind of increase our ammo by collecting the plasma balls. And we can also increase our health by colliding with these first aid images, which are our health pods. If we collide with the asteroids, our health would decrease. So notice there's some competition there between the health pods and the asteroids. So because we have to keep track of the hero's ammo and the hero's health, it begs for us to kind of look at the game library, specifically the image class, which is what, all animations are also part of the image class, which means we kind of inherit all these properties from the image class. Oops, I scrolled right through it. So looking at the image class, we can see here that by default, we're given two variables for health and damage. Health gets set to 100, damage gets set to 0, but we don't have anything in terms of ammo. Well, one of the nice things about Python is that we can dynamically add variables to our objects. So I can simply say hero.ammo equals, let's say, 1. And what that does is that creates a variable inside of our hero, and it gives it a value of 1. All right, so now we do have an ammo variable to get associated with the hero. All right, so let's work with that ammo. So inside this for loop, again, just as a little review as how we work with lists, we're using the for loop to go through every single plasma ball that's in this list. Again, that's what bracket I does for us. It gets us one of those animations that we appended to this list. Again, that's one of the big things with this video game is that we're working with lists. So we can have the hero check to see if it's collided with one of these plasma balls. Again, plasma bracket I will represent each of the plasma balls as it's going through the loop. All right, so if it does collide with one of those plasma, let's increase the ammo. So let's increase the ammo by, let's say 1. Okay, now let's do something similar to the health pods. So if the hero collides with, let's say, one of the health pods, bracket I, again, that's what bracket I does. This gets us one of those health pods, one of those health animations that we've appended to this list called health pods. Okay, so if we've done that, we can increase our health, let's say, by 5. Now we're going to save the asteroids for the next go around. All right, so this is great. We're increasing our ammo, we're increasing our health, but we got to give our player some feedback in order for them to kind of see how much they have. So we're going to use draw text, and let's draw the hero's health first. If I can spell health, and let's do 10, 10. Okay, nothing too special. And let's also draw the hero's ammo, which is that new variable we just created. And let's say 10, 30. So there's a little separation there. Okay. So hopefully what's going to happen is that every time we collide with a plasma ball, our ammo should increase. And every time we collide with one of the health pods, our health should increase. Okay. All right, so if you look at the numbers in the top left corner, they're definitely increasing, they're reacting, but they're increasing by a lot. That's because there is a constant collision with those animations. So for instance, I can kind of follow, let's follow the slow one down here. And because I'm constantly colliding with that health pod, guess what? I'm constantly collecting +5. Again, that's not, I don't think that's what our intention was, but that's what's happening. All right, so we had this problem with Flappy Bird as well. And the way we were able to solve it was by simply making the ring inside of Flappy Birds not visible anymore. So we could do the same thing here. Again, going back to this concept that when we use, actually, let's do the plasma ball first. When we use the bracket I, that represents one of the plasma balls. So whichever plasma ball we collide it with, that's the plasma ball whose visibility property we want to set to false. Now, again, just as review, when an object is not visible, it doesn't matter if it's colliding with some other object, the collision is going to come back as false. Kind of makes sense. We can only collide with things that are visible. Let's do the same thing for our health pods. So the particular health pod that I've collided with, whatever that is the one I'm going to set its visibility back to false. All right, so let's look at it. And hopefully what happens now is that we're only going to see our numbers increase a little bit. So if you look at our ammo, notice our ammo is definitely increasing more appropriately. The other thing you'll notice too is it kind of feels like I'm collecting them, because as I fly into them, notice the plasma balls now disappear. All right. So now let's handle the asteroids, because every time I collide with an asteroid, I should then lose some health. All right, so let's see asteroids. And so we're going to take the same approach. If the hero collided with a particular asteroid, one of the asteroids. So again, notice that same kind of like conversation, one of the elements in the list. That's the bracket I. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to decrease my health, and I'm going to make it a little more costly. Oops. So say hero.health minus equals. So we're going to decrease our health. And hopefully you can kind of feel intuitively, if I don't take the same approach as what I've done with the ammo, the plasma balls, and the health pods, then the asteroids will just kill us almost instantaneously. So again, once we've collided with one of the asteroids, we're going to make that asteroid go away. So that way we only get one collision with an asteroid. Okay, so let's try to focus on, actually, there you go. I already got into, let's see, that might be a give and take on that one. So you can see our health has definitely gone down every time I collide with an asteroid. So let's go back to our presentation. So in this video, we explored how we can check to see if our hero, if an animation has collided with a particular animation inside of a list. Again, taking the same things that we've learned, once we're inside that for loop, using the bracket I will give us access to one of those animations that are inside that list. Once we have that one animation, then we can pretty much do everything else that we've done before, which is, set the speed, move them, change the visibility, check their collision. Again, you could treat it as any other single animation that you worked with before. So hopefully you're excited about working with lists, and enjoy.